Hi everyone, I'm Dawnyelle from JRT Painting and Remodeling, and I am here today with Lizzie Parra from Parra Design and Build. Hi Lizzie.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for coming on today.
Yeah.
So all of these videos are informational videos to help people talk about the design trends, remodeling trends, anything along those lines that kind of give people a little bit more information about what's going on in today's world and designs. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Lizzie.
Yeah, sure. How much time do you have? So we do interior design primarily. That is the bulk of our business, is helping people with coming up with a design and then also wrangling people a lot of times, like JRT, for instance, to help make those dreams a reality. So that is part of what we do. Josh also does real estate. We also have Airbnbs and rentals. We've done flips. So we kind of, anything that has to do with houses, essentially, we do. And then we also have a kid and 4 dogs. And I grew up here. We moved to Boston for 12 years. So we bring some of that city flair that we learned from being there back to Happy Valley, which has been really fun for us. My whole family is here, so hence us being back.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty much us in a nutshell.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And we're actually in one of Lizzie and Josh's designs. This is one of their Airbnbs. But yeah, this is, it's beautiful here. They have great taste.
Thank you. This is our most fun one, I think, in terms of style. It's most like us. We've got a lot of black walls. We really love black. And just a little bit more of the urban look. Whereas we work in all different styles. So one of ours is like a more cottage chic. And then another one is like more contemporary. And what else do we have? We have one that's like transitional, which you see, I'm sure, a lot in your line of work. We see a lot of transitional style. So we have something for everybody, but this is more Parra, if you were to put a style to us.
Awesome. One thing that I've been noticing a lot lately, and this is going on to the trends, is I've been seeing a lot of golds.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting ready to do a bathroom, and she's doing golds, and her kitchen's, it's like a rose gold almost.
Oh, pretty.
It's really pretty. It's like a,
yeah. Yeah, I think that comes with everything leaning more away from like grays and more towards browns. So things pushing more towards like natural tones. And I think that things are just getting warmer, and since brass and gold is warmer, it just goes well with those things.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It is interesting. Like it was all the grays, the blues,
right?
And now it's like we're doing a lot of whites, and we're doing a lot of browns, which I can't find tile in brown right now to save my life.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
But
I think you do have to look at like actual natural material sometimes for stuff like that, like actual stone. But it is weird because it was all blue, gray, cool tones, and squared off things. And now, like, I was just looking at the Restoration Hardware catalog, which is it's eye candy. It was just outdoor furniture, and I was like drooling. But that was all browns, like even the cushions, like bronze brown, and then all like very rounded. So it's not this really super square. It's like everything's soft and natural, which I'm loving. Actually, I wouldn't have thought.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have the inside scoop.
Yeah, and Restoration Hardware is usually the first to do things. So if they're doing rounded and brown, everybody's going to be doing rounded and brown.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Now you know everyone. So Lizzie, what should a person consider when hiring a design team?
Well, I think that there's like a misconception that design, like hiring a designer, you have to be like a rich person. I think that people think, oh, like I obviously can't bring in a designer because I don't have that kind of funds. We are understanding of the fact that like sometimes it's like first-time home buyers that we're working with, or people that are trying to downsize and are on like a retirement fixed income situation. So we try to make our design work and our fees so that anybody that needs design help can bring in a designer. And a lot of times like we're doing some project management too, keeping the whole entire like project kind of streamlined. especially if we're like, you know, if we don't have the luxury of working with JRT, then sometimes we're like pulling subs for like something that's like more of a smattering rather than a full remodel. So we can like streamline it for them. And we want that to be something that anybody has access to. So number one is you don't have to be like rolling in it in order to bring in a designer. If anything, it'll save you money because we can make it really streamlined and make sure that you don't run into like making a decision that will be a regret down the road and will need to be redone. So, so I think that that's something important is like reach out, just reach out. There's so many good designers, even in this town, this little tiny town, there's so many good designers that can help to like make the remodel result what you're envisioning and just help streamline the whole process. And I think people are sometimes scared to reach out to a designer because they think they can't afford it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And like you said, you helped streamline everything, and you have, I mean, you should see Lizzie's spreadsheets. She's very organized. It's wonderful.
Thank you. My spreadsheets are my life.
Yeah, they're color coded and everything. It's
yes,
lovely.
They are. Yes, like, and that is something that you learn as you do more remodels. If you're jumping into something where you're like, oh, I'm really just, I don't have the time to do my own remodel because I have a job, which is the case for most of the people we work with. Both of the people are working full time, so they don't have the time to be managing and picking every single little finish down to like, you know, hardware and faucets and stuff. But also sometimes people are like, I don't really know how to pick stuff that looks good together. I'm sure you hear that all the time. People are like, I know what I have to buy, but is it gonna all look good together? Is it gonna look good with my home, with my style? You know, so those are all things that a designer can help you with so that you don't have regrets when you're done.
It's also a nice thing about working with a design team is they're going to show you the renderings of each design prior to doing it. So you really can help make decisions prior to the work starting.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times, like what we do is, one of the first steps is we take measurements and then we plug everything into the design program and then we start taking out walls, adding walls. It depends on the remodel, obviously, but we figure out the layout first and then we can do like overhead view, floor plan view, walkthrough view. And to some people, like they can't picture it until you are at that point.
Some people definitely are not a visual person.
I couldn't. Before we started doing like flips is essentially where I started learning how to see things before they were actually demoed and built.
Yes.
But it's hard to be like, oh, that wall won't be there, that wall will be there. So it's helpful to have a render.
Yes,
definitely.
Absolutely. So what are the benefits of hiring a design team such as you and Josh for Parra Design?
One of the main benefits of a designer. They will help you make sure that everything is cohesive with you, your house, the style of the home. I also think that a benefit is that we can keep the timeline. So, you know, a lot of times if people are doing a remodel, like they just don't know how to line up all those moving parts. So I think like general contractors can do that as well. But a lot of times it's helpful to have a designer that's also making sure that materials are ready for the general contractor. So a lot of times, like I'll talk to Tim, lovely Tim from JRT, and I'll say like, is there anything you're waiting on us for? Because I want to make sure that like I can get that as soon as possible. That way the project isn't held up. They're not like, there's nothing I can do on site right now. So I think keeping things on timeline.
We switched sides.
Surprise! We wanted to make sure that you got all of our good sides.
Both views.
You really see what we look like now.
So one of the questions is, and I love all of Lizzie's designs. I really enjoy working with you and Josh. What is your favorite design?
Okay, so that is a good question. We typically tend to favor the designs where we get a little more freedom as designers, which I think probably makes sense. All of our designs are a collaboration with the homeowners. It can't just be like what we like. It has to be what they like too. But the designs that we've had the most success with are ones where they're kind of like, you run with it and we'll tell you if there's anything we hate. So wine cellar, we did a really glitzy wine cellar, which I sent you pictures of. Maybe you'll put them up, who knows. That one was like, we could kind of just go full Parra. It's very like moody and sexy and glitzy and we just love it. Like there's accent lighting. We're big on accent lighting. We light up anything we can, which Tim knows. Even like the shampoo niche in the shower, we're lighting it all up because you can always dim it, but then you have the light where you want it, and it's always a wow factor. So that wine cellar, which was like 1,500 bottle wine cellar, I think, and also the clients, so lovely, and I think that makes a big difference too. Like our reaction to the designs that we've done in the past, a lot of it has to do with like how the vibe was during the project, and that was just such a nice, fun collaboration. We love the clients, and I think that makes a big difference. And then we also did the Gamble Mill Speakeasy.
Yes.
That was so much fun, which made us actually really want to do more commercial projects because we had only been doing residential really up until that point, and then I begged my way into the Gamble Mill Speakeasy project where he was like, we like have this dirt hole that we would like you to make into something, and that came out so fun, and we loved the space. So that was one of our other favorite ones, which I also sent you pictures of. And then and also for lovely clients, we did like a bar service window. So we redid their sunroom, and then we did one like a nano wall, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's an accordion patio door usually, but this one was like a window, and you could push it out of the way, and then you could serve cocktails from the sunroom to the patio. I love a good cocktail project.
Yeah.
So those were probably like three of our favorites that were at least recent. We've had so many projects. We've done a gazillion, which is also a reason, I mean, that's a reason to hire a contracting company that has a lot of experience, a designer that's done a gazillion kitchens, bathrooms, basements, whatever, is the fact that like we've seen it all, we've done it all. We know what not to do.
Yeah, and you can anticipate what may or may not happen for the most part.
Yeah, you can, and also, as I'm sure you see, we talk to people all week that, like, every time we do a consult, people are like, here's what I hate. I don't know why anybody did this. And we're like, okay, we will never do that.
Yes.
So you hear about the things that people have regrets about or hate in their house, and you're like, I will never make that same mistake in my own design or my own remodel. So I think that is such a benefit of, like, bringing in people that have experience. That's awesome.
One of my favorite questions to ask realtors and design teams is, what is the strangest thing that you've ever encountered in a project?
So one of the things that I think that we probably both encounter a lot in our daily work is people doing really bad DIY. So a lot of times we're either fixing that or we're just uncovering past homeowners having done bad DIY. So we've seen some really, really like safety concern, electrical, major water problem concern, plumbing. And one of the beauties of remodel is you're taking walls out and then you're like, oh my gosh, now that this is out, I see that there's a problem and now I can fix it. So like sometimes the benefit of remodel isn't just like the aesthetics, it's like you're fixing stuff that was hidden that could have been a huge problem. So that's one of the things, like the crazy things that we see are those things daily, probably. And then one of the craziest things that we saw that was very unexpected was we were doing a remodel and we were doing new ceiling lighting. So a lot of times the easiest way to do that is just, if you're doing a lot of ceiling lighting, sometimes you just take down the ceiling, especially if it's like textured, something like that. So we took down the ceiling and there was a huge bee's nest in the ceiling. They had been coming in from the front porch area, but they were hidden up in there. So we were like, that was really good that we were able to, I think like what I tell people a lot of times is like the investment of remodel isn't just like to make your kitchen prettier. A lot of times it's to fix things that had been done. And sometimes it wasn't even like they were done the wrong way. It was they were done the old way. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And things are better now. Yeah. We have packs.
I'm gonna chime in and tell you the strangest thing that I have ever encountered. Actually, yes. Tim and I, we went to a basement and they were redoing they were finishing the basement, and it was somebody else that was doing it with them as a friend.
Oh no.
And well, we got there and things were not done very well. And the strangest thing is they took out support beams. So every support beam was gone.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what was holding this place up, but hopefully they decided to put those back in.
Yes. And oftentimes, and I'm sure you see this as well, when people bring us in, like one of the things that we do is a design consult. So like it's a flat fee. We come in, people tell us their hopes and dreams for their house, and then we can be like, here's how you would go about that, and give them some information, just like basic information of like what to attack first, prioritize, you know, all of that stuff. Whenever people bring us in for the design consults, a lot of times they're like apologizing. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We have like kids' toys everywhere, or we have like dogs or whatever. We haven't cleaned up. You, I'm sure, feel the same way I do. We are not seeing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we do not see your stuff. We're seeing your walls. We're seeing your fixtures, anything that's like actually attached to your home. And there's no judgment because we also have dogs and
busy lives,
kids, and all the busy lives, and use our homes. So, so I think that a lot of times people think like, oh my gosh, they're going to be like horrified by something in this house, and we're not. We're coming and we're trying to make it your dream house.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lizzie, thank you so much for joining me today.
It was a pleasure.
It's been a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is bring in a designer and bring in a contractor that knows what they're doing, and then you'll be all good.
And cohesive.
Yes.
Having a team that works together is huge.
Yes, definitely. And we know, because we've been working with so many different people in this town, like who to go with and who to stray away from. So I think knowing like that we can help with trusted labor and also trusted vendors for supplies. That's all helpful. Too.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a great day.
Bye.
Yes.